All right, what's going on, guys? Masters this week. We love this event. This is one of the best all time for the year. And really, these have such capability of being some of the best events just that we've ever seen, right? Augusta, Tiger possibly playing, and here we are recording on a Tuesday, and it's still a possibility. So I love that. I love that one of my picks, Patrick Cantlay, said would be the greatest thing in golf if he does come back, and just what it would be for the sport. So let's get into it. I really love, obviously, the top players. Scotty Scheffler at the top there, the only guy in the 11,000 range in DraftKings. You can't go wrong with him. I don't have a problem with that. I would just, if I had to pick between him and Rahm, I think the timing is better with Rahm. I know that, remember, Scotty had said he was tired. And remember Riviera coming off of a win there in Phoenix. He was just a little exhausted. And I think that was only a couple months ago. And now here we are with the couple wins on top of that and getting his energy out. And listen, I know that he's on a roll, but I just think in terms of rest, I think Rahm is a more rested player right now. If you had to pick between Rahm at the top of your lineup or Scotty Scheffler, Rahm is more rested. And that even goes back to the 2.5-month break that he had in the offseason around the holidays. He said it was the best decision of his life to do that, to really plug in with his family and just get his brain off of golf. And look what it's done for him, though. I know he hasn't won since then. Okay, big deal. But he's been huge in the sense that he feels rested, he feels confident. And even in the last few weeks, he's had a break in between each start. He played decently at Del Mas, played T9, and then before that, he played the Players Championship 2 weeks before. So it's not like he's been killing himself week to week to week. I like that aspect, the rested mentality of Jon Rahm, as you hear there. What I also like about Rahm, first in greens and regulation, look at the past champions, okay, who have won this event. 2015, it was Spieth, right, in second place. All of these past champs, really since 2015, have been so good in greens and regulation. Danny Willett tied for sixth in 2016. In 2017, Sergio Garcia tied for second. Okay, Reed, T21. Woods, first. Dustin Johnson, first. Okay, we go into that. Beyond that, Matsuyama tied for seventh. Every single player has been very good with his iron play that week, been in position to do that and then go after it. So this is huge. Jon Rahm's first in greens and regulation. Okay, I'm sorry. That is really, really important information, I think, going forward here. A guy who's going to give himself opportunities. I know he may not be the best putter in the world, but none of those past champions I just mentioned are the best putter in the world either, okay? This comes down to being able to attack Augusta because you have put yourself in the right quadrants of the greens for 72 holes, and that's what I see from Jon Rahm being number one, the best player in the world in greens and regulation at the moment on the PGA Tour. You look at other things too. I love what he's done with his, obviously, 19th off the tee, birdie average, he's second. Actually, I'm looking at another player. That's Cantlay. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, Jon Rahm, fourth in tee to green. They talk about tee to green being a huge overall stat with the driving and ball striking. That is a massive thing. I think 13th the birdie average is big for Rahm as well. He can keep the numbers coming. So I would start with Jon Rahm, okay? If I've made that clear, at 10,800, he is a good anchor for you in your lineup. Let's go next to Patrick Cantlay, okay, 9,500. What does that mean? Do you know? Is he somebody to prioritize? Let me think. Absolutely. And why? Well, let's look at what he's done this year, okay? He's the kind of player. He is 19th shot scan out the tee. His birdie average is second. That is so huge around Augusta National. We know you've got to score well here, and the birdies are out there, but you have to be in position. You have to repeatedly, over 72 holes, be giving yourself those realistic chances, and he's done that all season. It's second in birdie average. I love what he brings to the table. I did speak with his caddy, Matt Minister, and I said, what is it about? I've seen him practicing. Okay, here's a tidbit right here about Patrick Cantlay. He has been practicing putting, I think, more than any player at Augusta National the last couple years in terms of the time he's put in, especially from the 5-foot range. This guy has been so patient on the putting green by himself a lot of times in 2020 and 2021 when I've walked out there and seen. He has been dedicated to these short putts. And what is the key when you think about winning the Masters? You really need to keep the momentum going by making those 5-footers, some with break and some you got to play a foot outside. I mean, this guy has really seemed to be dialed in and really focused on that aspect of his game. And I'll tell you what, his caddy, Matt Minister, said that he is very, very comfortable with the speed of these greens. He loves them as much break as they have because he knows his stroke. And when you watch Cantley, it's kind of a long and slower stroke. He said it looks slower, right? And that is kind of a languid move. And that is good for the fast greens at Augusta, right? It's not like this big old pop, where you might lose control if you go past the hole on a certain situation. So think about what that does for his game. And just the visualization, right? He likes to see all that break and to play everything way on the high side, on the pro side, and just let it kind of drip in. That is the style, especially on lag putts at Augusta National. Patrick Cantley dialed in that department. I think he's a perfect pick for your team. I know that actually at 9,500. So please go with that if you want to pick a player who's going to be putting up major numbers on DFS this week. Xander Schauffele, 9,600. I jumped over him by $100, but let's go into Xander. What do I like about him? Well, he has seriously, and I mean seriously, been in the mix in 2019, right? That's when he got tigered, according to his caddy. I forgot his caddy's name already. Austin Kaiser, okay? Excuse me. They said they got tigered. They had a putt on the 71st hole on 17 that they needed to make. They didn't, but they were so close to really posting a number that Tiger would have had to react to. Now, fast forward the tape, just two years later, which was last year, they tied for third. Remember, they get all the way to the 70th hole, number 16. And he puts it in the drink, and everybody remembers, oh, that swing, even as beautiful as it looks. I think the tempo is as good as anyone in the game, that swing. But everyone is only going to remember that he was in trouble on the 70th hole. But he had gotten himself in position through 69 holes. Such confidence, I think he has to take away from that, and also from 2019, being so close and being right there on that 17th hole on Sunday as well, with a chance to post a number. So those are two massive experiences that I think he's going to take this week. I love his putting stroke, right? The more break, the better. According to his caddy, I had a conversation with Austin Kaiser, Schauffele's caddy. He said that the biggest key is that he loves to play as much break as possible on these greens, and he's comfortable playing things out with as much break and as much curve. And just really respecting the speed of the greens at Augusta National. It's a big thing for Xander Schauffele. Kind of most players would feel a little uncomfortable. And he's only played this event. Would think about it. What, 1, 2, 3? He's only played it 4 times, only his 5th time, 2018, 19, 20, 21. But he has found a way around these greens. And that's also with chipping as well. He seems to be dialed in, and sand saves. He's 3rd on the PGA Tour right now. So that's huge, I think, around Augusta. Being comfortable in the bunkers. He is 10th in birdie average, right? So you know those birdies are going to come for you in your DFS lineup when you pick Xander. Oh, let's see, he's 16th in tee to green. So important, picking up strokes on this field in that department as well. Means you're driving in position, means you're hitting good iron play. What I love after talking with Kaiser, his caddy, he says he loves hitting different types of shots off of the tee, right? Shaping shots, right? Whether that's on your tee shots, whether that's coming in when you think about the par 5s. The other thing, hitting fades off of draw lies. It's a huge aspect of Augusta National, playing well at the Masters. That's one thing that Xander Schauffele has learned along with his caddy, Austin Kaiser. And Austin told me that this is a big thing, that they have really worked on that. Okay, I know that it feels weird when we have the ball above our feet. How do you hit a fade? Xander is dialed in that department, and that is going to help him as your pick on the par 5s when you think of, let's see, 13 and to some of those shots coming in, especially down the stretch in the back 9. So keep an eye on Xander Schauffele. I really like what he brings to the table. Who I also love is Billy Horschel. I know if you look at his record, it's been a little turbulent the last few starts. Cut T56, T38, T50. I understand it's not amazing numbers, okay? It's not the perfect amount of finishes, but you know what? It doesn't matter with Billy Horschel. His self-confidence, you see it, right? In match play when he did, making another deep run, almost defending his title. It was such a difficult thing it is to do that at the match play in Austin, but he is so he's just dialed in and confident in himself. And I think that's an important aspect here at Augusta for him to play well. When you look at, he's 11th in putting, so you know around this course you've got to be pretty comfortable with your putter, and he is, Billy Horschel, for your team there, to have him on your team. 19th in birdie average, so you know the bird's going to keep coming. 26th in accuracy off the tee. I love that aspect of it too, because it's not just bombing it out there and then just gouging a wedge in. If you're in position on these second shot golf course they talk about, right? So if you are setting yourself consistently up in the fairway, this is a massive advantage for Billy Horschel to go with that supreme self-confidence that we see in Billy Horschel's game. I love what he brings to the table. And listen, I know he's never won a major before, okay? But Danny Willett had never won a major. Charles Schwartzel, the list goes on. Even guys who finished second, like Louis Oosthuizen, or third, like Xander Schauffele last year. These guys just come up and they rise to the occasion. Billy Horschel in his career has really played well in big events. When you think about being in a final group on a weekend at Marion in the U.S. Open in 2013. I know it's been a while since that happened, but he has really risen to the occasion, winning the Tour Championship. And who did he beat? Played with Rory McIlroy in 2014, the best player in the world, stared him down and beat him. That kind of confidence doesn't grow on trees. That's Billy Horschel for you to a T. And I know that you can look at him and say, what is the last time he's absolutely killed it in the major? I know it's been a while, but you know what? It doesn't matter. And his self-confidence, to him, it doesn't matter. It's not affected by all these extra factors. This guy, he's got Fucha on the bag as well, right? His caddy, longtime caddy for Justin Rose. Fuch is so confident and in what he can do in late game situations, right? Calming his player. Horschel's a fiery guy. And you have a perfect caddy down the stretch to keep your pick, Billy Horschel, in this game and in this mix and scoring in the DFS department. So 7,400, you've got to like Billy Horschel. The other guy I am bullish on, Corey Connors, 7,600. Look what he's done. A 6th off the tee this year in shots gained. Okay, so that's super good stuff. 3rd in greens and regulation. You have to remember what past champions have done here. First was Dustin Johnson in that department. First was Tiger Woods in 2019. So many trends with past champions, especially in the last 7-8 years in that area. So keep an eye on Corey Connors. I spoke with his caddy, Danny Saul, this week, and he said he has an eye for the right to left shot, especially here at Augusta. It's massive. So keep an eye on what he can do. Few players are comfortable drawing their driver on 17, but Corey Connors is. So he will get himself as far out as he can and hit that trustworthy draw, which is huge. I mean, think about this. You get right to left and you're super comfortable with that, especially down the stretch at Augusta. That is a huge shot to have in the bag. And I love what he brings to the table. We saw what he did last year, right? We saw that Corey Connors in a tie for 8th. And that's just a massive aspect of being in the mix, right? Tasting what it was like there, sleeping in the mix on a Friday night aspect of being in the hunt. On a Saturday night as well. All of that, I think, adds up. Those ingredients add up for a great possible week for Corey Connors. I think it's a great pick for you. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you like this content, and enjoy Masters Week. Talk to you soon.